Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. Once again, I wanted to further talk about this. I talked about this on my live stream. So now I'm going to talk about this in a solo video effort. You know how they like saying, when these dudes come out with, these dudes that lead rap groups to come out with a solo album, they say they solo effort. So sounds kind of cool though. But, basically what I wanted to talk about, like, once again, I wanted to talk about Floyd Mayweather and talk about this new so-called woke Floyd Mayweather. Once again, is Floyd clout chasing? Is this a publicity stunt? Do Floyd got something coming up? Is Floyd trying to basically play off the black community? Basically what we going through in the wake of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, for real, Doug Lewis, just many people that, lost their lives this year, either at the hands of the police or the hands of, the powdered milk village. But, I know that Floyd is cool with some of the people that I'm cool with, but that's not going to deter me from speaking out against Floyd, because I have to call it how it is. And once again, I have to call Floyd out on his hypocrisy. At the end of the day, I have to call it like how I see it. I've seen Goodfellas Sports TV basically, standing on this circle, basically saying he not messing with Floyd because he feels like Floyd has done too much. And one can make an argument that Floyd has hurt the black community and stabbed the black community in the back on many occasions. Now, all of a sudden, Floyd is talking about holding the NFL accountable and the NBA accountable and holding Major League Baseball accountable. Well, Floyd, what about you? See, one thing about Floyd, I know to a certain degree, he kind of hold a grudge when you say something about him. At the end of the day, it's criticism the same way Floyd got a right to criticize people. We had a right to criticize him. And like I said before, I know he has a relationship with certain people that I know. I know he cool with the Haneys. I know Bill listens to my channel, but at the end of the day, that's not going to deter me from saying what I need to say about Floyd, because at the end of the day, Floyd is a gigantic hypocrite. And it has to be said. First of all, anybody that followed my channel, when I first got on YouTube, I was the biggest Floyd Mayweather fan out there. Like I said, me, Ticket, a couple of other people. Look, I'm serious. Floyd could do no wrong in my eyes because I was that big of a fan. I enjoyed watching Floyd fight. I have Floyd in my top 5 that best that ever did it. Hey, that's debatable. Who cares? Whoever your greatest fighter ever is. Some people have Jack Johnson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather. For real. If you feel like one of those dudes, is your favorite fighter or the best to you that ever did it, your GOAT, hey, okay, fine. But as I said before, I have to go down the list. Like I said, Floyd ain't in no position to call anybody out. Now, I know Floyd said he has ties to Breonna Taylor's family, and he's saying that justice need to be served, and policemen, if they kill an unarmed black person, should possibly get life in jail or the possibility of death penalty. Well, don't hold your breath. Okay? Don't hold your breath. Because at the end of the day, the powers that be, they don't even want to acknowledge that the police ever does anything wrong in these situations. Now, like I said, I'm going to further talk about the Breonna Taylor case and how it stinks to high heaven, and how this is one of the biggest cover-ups / scams in history. Because one thing I want to say when it comes to people that will comment on your channel that don't happen to agree with you, we already know what their stance is. They want to say, oh, this isn't, if they're not in agreement with you, they want to say, oh, well, I don't agree with your stance, but I'm still not a racist. Yes, you are. You are a flat out racist. If you don't understand that black people are treated different from their white counterparts and you happen to be white, you're a liar. You know damn well there's a difference. And if you're one of these morons that say racism doesn't exist in the 20th century, you're even more of a liar and a fraud. And it need to be said. Like I said, I don't even bother arguing with these type of people that come on my channel. I just block their asses and leave it at that, because it ain't no use arguing with people that's set in their ways, that actually believe the BS that come out their mouth. And they know that they're lying. But they're so set in their racist, white supremacist ways, because it's been taught, they've been groomed, they've been conditioned to believe certain things about other people, and particularly us, black people, that they are better than us and that we are beneath them. They are intellectually superior, mentally superior. They're not. It's not even close. And we know they're not physically superior. Okay. Unless they invent something to give them an advantage. And we know what that is. You know what I'm saying? But let's get down to Floyd. Let's go down Floyd's history. Keep in mind, Floyd, like I said, turned his back and shrugged his shoulders and against the black community on many occasions. Keep in mind, when the Donald Sterling thing, and I'm sorry, Floyd was just flat out cooning. Bill, I'm sorry. I know you cool with Floyd, but at the end of the day, I'm not biting my tongue. You can send this to Floyd. And if Floyd got a problem, hey, Bill, you can set up a 3-way conversation. I'll be more than happy to talk to Floyd with or without an interview. Because I will tell Floyd exactly how I feel about him, and my stance will not change. Because this need to be said. But let's go down Floyd's history. When the whole thing about Donald Sterling came out, when Donald Sterling was exposed as a blatant racist, guess who defended Donald Sterling? Floyd Mayweather. Oh, well, Donald Sterling was always nice to me. Floyd was always compromising himself at times to sell fights and to promote himself. And at the end of the day, sometimes you have to take off your villain hat and become a black man. And like I said, Floyd only talked about racism when it happened to him. Now, keep in mind, he was hollering about racism when he couldn't get into his gated community. And I know where Floyd lives. Well, I know what area he lives in. I don't know where Floyd lives, but I know what area, what community he lives in. But Floyd, when he was trying to get into his house and they wouldn't let him in, he kept saying, oh, y'all don't do this to the Maloof brothers. But he was hollering about racism then. But when we asked Floyd to speak of racism, Floyd was hollering about, he was on some other stuff. Oh, well, sometimes we have to respect the police and cooperate with the police. So Floyd stabbed the black community in the back on several occasions. He did. This is fact. You can look all this stuff up. Okay? He defended Donald Sterling. Keep in mind, he went to Donald Trump's inauguration. And we know what type of person Donald Trump is. Like I said before, I don't support Donald Trump. Donald Trump, we know that Donald Trump is a white supremacist. Okay? Okay, we know what kind of cat that he is. But Floyd took his ass there, once again. And then how many times did we ask Floyd or kind of hint, well, maybe Floyd should speak out against certain things? Like I said, people want to play that role that, oh, well, athletes don't have an obligation to speak out against racism. Well, that's debatable, because I feel like this. If we're going to see Dwayne Johnson movies, we're buying Floyd Mayweather fights, you know what I'm saying? We're buying certain rappers' records and helping them make tons of money. To a certain degree, there is somewhat of an obligation to acknowledge the people that helped get you there. But no, Floyd said Mexicans helped get him where he was by buying his fights. Like I said, that's a complete lie. And that's a flat out lie. So if people not buying the new woke Floyd Mayweather, once again, Floyd did this to himself because of his history. And of course the notorious Gucci thing, where Floyd said, "Oh, I'm a leader, not a follower," and all this kind of stuff. "Oh, we finna go buy some Gucci," and you could hear somebody outside, I guess in Beverly Hills, hearing a brother say, "Hey, Floyd, don't do it, man. Come on." Floyd come out saying, "Yeah, I spent $200,000, and then he talking about Dapper Dan. So Dapper Dan is your token Negro on why you should buy Gucci. Come on, man." So basically, they only got one designer working for them. Okay, but some of their biggest consumers happen to be black. I'm sitting up in Vegas, and I got to keep it 100. I'm walking around Las Vegas. I'm seeing so many black people with Gucci belts and all that stuff on, and Gucci shirts. They don't care. Gucci face masks and all that kind of stuff. Now, like I said, I used to wear that stuff, but I took a stance. Look, at the end of the day, we know pretty much every company to a certain degree is a tad bit racist, but it comes down to how extreme their racism is. It's a difference between being light racist and blatantly racist. What Gucci did was blatantly racist. What Prada did was blatantly racist. What Burberry did was suspect and very racist. And if you, once again, not black, you know what I'm saying, or white, your conversation or your opinion is not needed or wanted, and it will not be taken into consideration. Because if I even remotely think that you're not black and you comment on this video, I am going to erase your comment and block you. This is a black conversation. Okay? So if you ain't got at least 48% black in your DNA, then don't respond. Once again, your opinion don't matter. And I'm just keeping it 100. So like I said, this is a history of Floyd. Blatantly disrespected the black community when he did that, and was taunting the black community. So now all of a sudden, Floyd, a couple of years later, now all of a sudden Floyd is conscious and he want accountability for police officers. Okay, well, Floyd, if this your stance, you gonna, and I will say this, that was cool that Floyd paid for George Floyd's funeral. So I give him credit for that. But at the end of the day, Floyd, where was you when all these other cases were happening, these incidents, when you were an active fighter? Okay, when Michael Brown happened, Oscar Grant, Sandra Bland, all these incidents that happened. All of a sudden, Floyd, in 2020, you realize once again that you're a black man and now you want to speak on these issues. This is why people are saying that, Floyd, I'm not buying this. And I heard Blue's video, and Blue said some real shit. But at the end of the day, Floyd, you suspect. Once again, you wanted to use racism to sell the Conor McGregor fight, but then you don't talk about racism any other time. You want to play and then all that, and then keep in mind you said all lives matters, and you already know all lives don't matter. Any person that say that that's black, at the end of the day, that's just flat out coonery. Okay, you ain't no different from Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal, who I'm about to set ablaze in the video that I'm going to talk about when it comes to more evidence that's coming out about this sham of this dog and pony show with Breonna Taylor. But as I said before, Floyd, you ain't in no position to call out nobody. You can't say nothing about LeBron James. LeBron James has put in way more work than you put in, Floyd. Way more work. And that's the thing, Floyd. You could have had the mantle that LeBron had. And then the funny thing, Floyd, that's so funny. For years, I sat up there and defended Floyd Mayweather from all the racist comments he used to get in regards when it came to the Manny Pacquiao fight, when it came to Floyd's resume, when it came to, just period. And I defended him. Do I regret it? To a certain degree, kind of. But at the end of the day, as I said before, I won't ever let nobody that is not black, and especially white, condemn or put down a black man in front of me. Not on my channel. You won't ever see me kikiing with the man, Mr. Charlie, about another black man. So I'm telling you right now, if you think you finna ever get the floor where you finna talk about a black man, another black man to this black man, and you not a black man, you on the wrong damn channel. I'm telling you that right now. So like I said before, this stuff with Floyd is warranted. So like I said before, Floyd is being a flat out hypocrite. He is in no position to call anybody out. And keep in mind, Floyd, once again, I'm about to bring up this dude. Okay, well, Floyd, why don't you call out Jerry Jones? Why don't you call out Jerry Jones for being the ringleader and keeping Colin Kaepernick out the league? Why don't you say, hey, man, Colin Kaepernick should get a job? But then again, I don't even think Colin Kaepernick want to go back to the NFL. Why should he? Colin Kaepernick has probably made just as much money not throwing the football than he has throwing the football. Colin Kaepernick has made millions, and he deserved to get paid. Oh, well, he's trying to capitalize off. Like, it's like this. Is you supposed to work for free? So I'm serious. At the end of the day, black people been getting exploited forever. For real. It would be even worse if these people wasn't paying him. So at the end of the day, he's still a businessman. He's still an athlete. He still have bills to pay. And that's what y'all don't understand. Okay? He's done his job. Okay? For real. It's some people that don't believe in what he's doing, but what do Jason Whitlock do for the community? What do Stephen A. Smith do for the community? What do Marcellus Riley do for the community? Or LeVar Arrington? What do they do for the community? When do they ever speak out? So that's what I'm saying, man. Those dudes need to keep their mouth shut, because at the end of the day, Colin Kaepernick has been very vocal about what's going on. And at the end of the day, yeah, he should get paid. He has the right to earn a living. Like I said, is y'all gonna pay his salary? Y'all gonna pay his bills? No. If we calling out the people that ain't rolling with him, why do we have a problem with the people that is rolling with him? So that just don't make no sense. You guys can't have it both ways. But that's what I'm saying. Floyd never spoke on that kind of stuff. He kept his mouth shut. Floyd could have been where Ali was. And then once again, Floyd is suspect on certain things. Now all of a sudden, Deontay Wilder has his first defeat. Now all of a sudden, he begging Deontay Wilder, hey, Deontay, let me train you for the third Tyson Fury fight. Is it about you helping Deontay Wilder win, or you taking all the credit for Deontay Wilder winning? Will you make it about Floyd instead of making it about Deontay Wilder? That's where things get fuzzy. So like I said, Floyd's history of going against the grain is well documented. So if people is not buying the conscious Floyd Mayweather, well, it's to Floyd's own doing. And I'm just keeping it 100. Thank you for listening. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.